So ended the stream.
I edited it and put it back because I hadn't edited it if it was episode 38.
Okay. Back in a second.
Good start then, we've only got 2 of the whole song.
It doesn't fit mine. It's a completely different cable. They're plugged into the wall. The far left, it's on plug and socket, but they're completely different power adapters. I don't know.
So Dan's not here, that means it's a whole game about arcade games, isn't it?
Basically.
That's
and,
what I thought the rules were.
Yeah, that's normally how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that was mandatory, that if Daniel's not here, it's an arcade only.
Good option.
That one. Oh, right. So have you started it again yet?
Yes, we're live on the tube.
Oh, we are late. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see it now. I've just refreshed the page. Oh, volume. Turn it down. Turn it down.
The
What the
tube.
what?
My phone was indeed downstairs.
Success. And thanks for listening to Xbox Tavern's podcast. Ian's found his phone.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Like and subscribe. Share. And if you're lucky, maybe one day you'll get to read a review of these stories.
Oh, who punched their mic? Oh,
That was me.
ah.
I started to point out, Jamie, it's there. I just need to send it to you. And then we're
Yeah,
good.
you did say before a podcast, not this podcast. So.
Sometime in July, August.
Oh, you will get it. It's written. I just need to send it to you. I haven't had time. It's fucking hot. I've been decorating and tidying up.
Why are we decorating in the heat, you Wally?
Because the sun makes paint dry faster.
Boom. Knowledge.
But still, it's only
Well,
want to stand up. Let no bloody decorating this shit.
Got a new table as well next to me.
Very exciting.
I mean, are we live or not?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
Okay, then I won't be showing my room around.
give the kids a view of your life.
Couple of dildos standing there.
Just a couple. The rest are in the other room.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had the rest.
Plugged in downstairs charging.
Got one right in me now for talking. What do you think?
The one.
Phone? What was that about? Plugging my butt plug. Graham controls it from the other side.
Yeah, he's got a little thing.
That's what that noise was, really, wasn't it? It wasn't any microphone feedback. It's just the buzzing of that in your ass.
That's it.
Fuck, turn the sensitivity down. Turn it down.
Dan usually does it. That's why he's off. So Graham does it for me.
That's fair enough.
It's such an organised podcast when Dan isn't here, isn't it? Just everything
I know.
runs so
It's organised, every time.
I love how we've got an upload of episode 37 without a T as well. So FF37.
I've changed it to episode 38. The new one says 38. Please tell me the new one says 38 or I made a balls of it.
It definitely said 38 when I clicked.
I mean, it just says episode 38. But, you know, I digress.
Is it not meant to say anything else other than episode 38?
Normally, it puts Xbox Tavern podcast episode 38.
Oh, well, fuck.
Well, I think maybe not normally, but it should do, really, shouldn't it?
It should do.
But that's for the fine details.
I can edit in post-production.
If you go back, I mean, it's just a shit show, so don't worry about it too much.
I will edit in post-production.
Yeah, I think we do need to go back and edit a few things because I was looking at stuff the other day. I was like, yeah, I need to change that. I think
I saw some guy put timestamps. Like, okay, well, I better go do that because.
Yes, that's timestamps. But anyway, that's for business off the time. Let's get out of this heat. Are we ready to go, gentlemen?
Indeed,
what the fuck is up in there?
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Jake's trapped into a 90s
It's like,
VCR.
what the fuck?
Xbox screen, no?
What have you done, Jamie?
I like
Literally
it.
nothing.
You got into another
I
universe.
just sat there. I was like, "Are we ready to go?" And it just started freaking out. What the fuck?
Parallel universe.
It's like a 90s videotape.
There we go, done. It's a dad. That's what
That's
it.
They're coming. They're coming for you. They're coming. I can't say. Look, I can't.
That's what I mean. Yes, it reminds me of a video from Mist.
Yeah. The keys are in the. All right. Let me know when you press record, Ian, and we'll begin.
Okay. Let's do it.
Recording in progress.
I forgot you don't need to tell me, do you? Hello, welcome to Xbox Tavern's
Give it a time. Give it a time.
Hello, and welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, episode 38, so we're led to believe. Another lovely Sunday, and I'm joined this week by Ross,
Hello.
a very hot Ian,
Hello.
and a toasty Graham.
Hello.
How are we, gentlemen, other than hot?
Fantastic.
Roasting.
Yeah, you would be up there in your minus 12 degrees
It's
heat.
not minus 12, you shower.
Are you shoveling snow out there?
Can't believe how racist this podcast is. It's fucking rude, man.
Got a heat wave, the snow started to melt for a minute. It started to... Someone's got to be the brunt of it, and Dan's not here, so you...
So yeah, line him up.
Where are we? Highs at 22. Oh, you can see it.
19 degrees Fahrenheit. Bloody hell.
19 degrees Fahrenheit. Fuck. Oh, poor Ross.
I hate you all.
I wish I could be there, to be honest. I'd rather that than this.
Hate you all.
And I hate the sun, but you know what we like? We like video games.
We do.
Video games. So we're going to talk about some. But just as I just said, Dan's not here this week. He's got family around visiting. So hi, Dan, and Dan's family.
Hi, Daniel. You little under the thumb bitch.
Oh, cheap shot. Right. Oh, God, I'm being abducted again. Hang on. Oh, I don't know. Let's go. Let's carry on. We'll deal with it. Ross can handle it, I'm sure.
Oh, I totally.
You're gonna kill him, you are.
After last week. All right. So let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Apple Podcasts, if you want to listen to our podcast version of this, hit up there, hit some reviews. We'll read them out on the show. 5 stars and all that goodness. You can find the YouTube version on YouTube, surprisingly, which is where we live stream it every Sunday, 8 p.m. more or less. And other podcast services, just search Xbox Tavern. Put it in your old Ask Jeeves or DuckDuckGo or whatever it is you use. Why can I hear myself again? Who's turning?
On me.
You people are breaking me tonight.
Shambles. We still got our promo going on with Insert Coincidence. Xbox Tavern 20 in their code field will give you 20% off. It's a good choice, as always. Ian, have you got your new stuff yet? Or I thought you were placing... Oh, there it is. I didn't put mine on this week.
No.
Hello, darling.
A couple more now, yes.
Yes.
Very beautiful.
Very nice indeed. So yes, we need to keep that going. It's going to the end of the year. So
No, now I want to buy the backpack, and it's like, oh damn it, why didn't I see that the first time?
yeah. Well, there's always next time. Although it is a single-use code, I'm sure your wife might set up an account for you and buy it. That would be nice of her, wouldn't it?
That would be nice of her, but she's a bit of a bitch. So
Whoa!
Oh!
Past that. So you can join us on Discord if you want to know how lovely everyone's wives are.
at least now I'll find out if she watches it. Call me what?
Links down below, as well as other bits and pieces. YouTube, not YouTube, our xboxtavern.com is the site. Go there, read our stuff. Thanks. And patreon.com/xboxtavern if you want to chuck us a few bucks to keep this shambles going every week. That would be wonderful. Thank you very much. Anyway, video games. Gentlemen, Gears of War. Ian, Gears of War. I know you love it.
Oh yes, that should be added.
That should be added, shouldn't it? Oh, God, I'm being abducted again. We have got a bit of a news story. Gears of War Studio, the Coalition, could be planning to work on an original game series. So this is from VGC, and this is according to Clobril. Oh, I can never say his name. Clobril, something like that. Bit of an Xbox leaker. He's found a thing on LinkedIn where one of the designers has put a level designer on new IP, working at the Coalition Studio for the last 6 months. So if that's accurate, obviously that means they're working on something other than Gears for the first time. And does anybody have any interest in seeing what they could do other than Gears? Bearing in mind that they're supposed to be showing off, let me read here, an Unreal 5 engine tech demo at GDC on the 20th of July. So everybody was assuming that would be something to Gears related, but it could be whatever this rumored new IP could be. So anybody got anything they'd like to see from Coalition other than Gears?
Yeah, new IP called Cogs of Battle.
Cool. And where did you come up with the idea of that?
I don't know, it just sprung to me. Cogs of Battle just sounds like a unique name.
Or what about Cogs of Conflict? Does that not sound a bit of alliteration?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to go with that. Ian, I'm sorry, Ross, go on.
I was going to say, if I'm being honest, I want them to stick to what they're good at, and I just want to see bigger, brighter, better, newer Gears.
They're going to do Gears Battle Royale, aren't they?
Oh God, no, don't.
We don't need a Halo, and we don't need a Gears Battle Royale.
No, but stick to what you know. I don't want Playground are doing different games, but I want Playground to stick to Forza. I want Coalition to stick to Gears. I want a Bungie, or not so much Bungie anymore, 343 Industries to stick to Halo. I don't want these studios diving into different projects left, right, and centre. Stick
I
to
suppose it depends on how Fable turns out, doesn't it? Really, if Fable turns out from Playground decent, then it could be a good argument for the others to branch out.
Maybe.
Whereas if they miss the mark somehow, it might be, well, you're really good at the racing games.
Yeah, stick to
Maybe
racing games.
Stick to that for now. Ian, we'll talk about it a bit later on, but you've just finished your first Gears experience.
Yep.
Do you think they could turn that into any other sort of genre or any other sort of gameplay style?
Well, for that kind of combat, the only thing I could really see is what I said before was Battle Royale. But no, because you can't race. No, not racing. Because that would be terrible. The ski. No, you know when you on Gears 5 being on the ski.
The skiff, yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Yes,
No.
that's racing genre.
Yeah.
Someone could be shooting in the middle bit, and you're on the skiff in the back.
No. Did you actually enjoy the skiff, you two? Because I couldn't stand that part of it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I
I
didn't see
think
the
it was
point.
brilliant.
I hated it when you were the driver.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't want to drive all the time, because I don't like it.
See,
I get bored of it.
I think I was always the driver when I played at co-op, so I think that's maybe why I enjoyed it as much. But no,
I would have
think-
rather
was
they
it-
just. I would have rather they just let you just teleport you to the hubs, to the world. Sorry, to the levels.
So how are you going to make it open world?
Yeah,
without
that
having
was
a
the
skiff?
effect.
That's what I mean. They didn't have to have
You-
open world. They could have just given you a set of levels, and then had like side missions where it just teleported you to the side mission, rather than you having to fucking ski around this place trying to find the flags in the ground.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it was as much as they claimed it was open world, they didn't really benefit massively from the open world premise.
No,
No,
it
there was
wasn't.
nothing in the open world
No.
other than to find the new level. If there was
Yeah.
combat or if there was puzzles or something in there, it wouldn't have been so bad. But it
Yeah.
literally was just ski until you find a flag. Okay, now we can do the next fun bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, you had fun. You
enjoyed it. We finished
swapped
it.
that.
We finished it.
We'll
and you
talk
loved it.
about it.
We will. We'll get to that. I quite like them to see them maybe go for a first-person game rather than a third-person one, but keep the sort of big, chunky combat mechanics of Gears. So
Like the chainsaws and stuff.
yeah, as we said, I think I said a few weeks ago, like a first-person, maybe survival horror style Gears or game. Obviously, I know this isn't a Gears game, but it's that sort of thing where they, keep the big, beefy weapons, but have it a bit more scary and tension-filled rather than just all-out action.
In fairness, how good would like a first-person view be in using the Lancer?
Yeah,
It's like you're
Fucking-
in face. That would be, yeah. I'd be
What a
happy with
weapon.
that.
what a weapon!
For Jamie, it already be him on his hands and knees.
Oh,
on
yeah,
his
just
feet.
crawling around. yeah. Well, I mean, we get to it anyway.
G could do an in-depth breakdown of the different floor surfaces in the whole
Yeah,
of Gears of
all
War.
the floor textures and the way they've,
That's it.
You don't have to limit it to just that game.
Well, no, but
His knees were quite knobbly.
I was going to say I could tell everyone about everyone's footwear and what's
Exactly.
some nice shoes. What's on the bottom of your shoe? Bam. Right. Anyway, all right. Video games, Gears. So we'll see on the 20th whether they reveal a Gears tech demo or if it's this new IP. Hopefully a bit of both, but you never know. Next one. Next story, please. QuakeCon. Yeah, we were talking about Quake the other week.
we did.
We were.
Dude.
So QuakeCon, returns at home on August 19th to August the 21st. There's going to be various streams and bits. A lot of it's like esports and all that sort of centric. But I'm hoping again for a bit of a tease of what was it called the other week? That game that got rated in Australia.
Deathloop? No.
No, it
Oh,
was like a ID game 2021B or something like that. Do you remember? You guys talked about it when I wasn't here.
Oh, wasn't that when we were guessing of what the new game would be? I don't think it had a name yet. I thought we were
No,
working
no.
out.
No.
No, yeah, it literally got rated as ID game 2021B or something like that, and A turned out to be Doom 3, I think it was, like the remastered version. So it was we were talking about whether it could be a remastered Quake or
Yeah.
Wolfenstein or
Oh,
something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping come August 19th that maybe we get a teaser of whatever that game was, because they still haven't announced it. And hoping, being at QuakeCon, we might get a new Quake. That would
That's
nice.
what we were guessing, wasn't it? That's what we assumed it would be.
Yeah. But yeah, no, has anybody ever watched any of the QuakeCon stuff?
No, I actually never have. But I'm kind of intrigued this year.
It's I've only watched a little bit here and there, but yeah, it's always good fun. It'd be better to be there because I think they usually host it in Texas, and they get a load of people down together and just
was looking at it saying Dallas, Texas. I was like, oh, that's a little bit far.
A little bit of a journey, yeah.
Just
but
touch.
One year we'll just do a tour of all the events in the States, when people can travel and when we've got money. That would be nice. That would help probably.
Bulletproof vests.
Bulletproof vests. Yeah, we might have to. No, I'll leave that. I'll leave that.
American listeners.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll leave that there. But yeah, so QuakeCon coming up soon. Hopefully, we get a nice teaser of some sort of new Quake or something related to id Software. Next story, please. Resident Evil. Watch their faces drop. Ian's not even paying attention to what's going on. It's all right. It's a real quick one. So Resident Evil Village obviously come out earlier this year. It's really good. You should play it. I was real on Xbox 10 with comment. But it was supposed to come with a multiplayer mode called what it's fucking called now, Reverse, which was like a 6-player all v all thing where you play, third person combat and you turn into mutants and stuff. The beta I played was all right, but it was a bit wonky. And so they delayed it till July. It just didn't work very well. The balance was off, and half the time you couldn't get into a game. The games would bug and crash and all this sort of stuff. And then they tried to do another beta, and it just didn't work. They ended up taking it down because it just didn't work at all.
Did you enjoy Village? Don't understand, joke.
Well, I mean, if you want, I can pull up my review and just read through it if you like. We got time. Dan's not here. I've got to feel some air. So the Reverse was supposed to be included for all Village players, but it got delayed to July, and then just the other day they delayed it again until 2022. I think they said early, so something like January, February, but that's quite a hefty delay for a multiplayer mode that no one really wanted. Has anybody else played Village? And I don't think Ross played, haven't you?
Yeah, I've played it. I would much rather they spent the time that they're going to worry about fixing this and making some sort of single player content.
Yeah, I mean, if no one was really interested in it.
No,
why?
I don't
want to go. Okay, well, this? It's not going to work.
Yeah, let's
make some single player.
Yeah, let's make a single player side. Let's give more. I don't know. Give more Chris scenes.
Yeah. More House Benevento.
Yeah. Oh no, not more of that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I had enough of that shit with Crazy Baby.
Jill, Ashley, are they in it?
No.
They're not in it, but they could bring some other characters that we haven't seen for a while, like Claire or Jill, like you say, or Ashley, or even Leon. Bring him back because he's my bay and spirit animal.
But would it make any sense to do that, or why do you not go all the way back? Because what's his face? The guy from Umbrella, Spencer.
Wesker, yeah.
No, Wesker, not Wesker.
Oh, Spencer, yeah. Oswald Spencer, yeah.
Well, I won't say anything, but do something with the stuff that you find out about that.
But yeah, I mean, they have announced, haven't they, that I think it was at E3 that due to fan feedback, they decided to start work on some DLC, which they weren't going to do.
Yeah.
But that's obviously
way down the line. But I'd much rather they spent cancel the time they're looking at fixing the multiplayer side and maybe bring the single player stuff forward, even if it's still first half of next year. But it would be better that than wait until the online stuff was fixed.
Then all hands on deck.
Yeah, then get the single player stuff.
Yeah. I mean, this as I said, I played. Did anybody else play the beta? I assume not, but no. It was all right. It's better than I thought it was. Did anybody play Umbrella Chron? No, not Umbrella Chron. Sorry, Operation Raccoon City on the 360. Again, I assume not. It was dreadful. And this had sort of vibes of that. Like, it was all right for a couple of games, but then I assume it's going to get very old very fast. And so I wasn't really excited for it to come out this month, let alone waiting yet another 6 months for it to turn up. So yeah, as you say, cancel it and just bin the whole idea and do something better for the 25th anniversary than that. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. But yeah, no good. But it's been delayed.
Or make 9 at least.
yeah, just as Ross said, they could use the resources anywhere, either on a DLC or on a new game or even a new spin-off type game, but not. I don't see why they're so concerned about getting this out when it really isn't warranted.
Yeah, it wasn't something that everybody was clamoring for, so I wouldn't worry about making it a priority.
No, and even though they promised it was coming with Village, so obviously I guess they'll have to give them something, but maybe give them the DLC instead.
Yeah,
and say we cancel multiplayer, but you get the DLC for free, or something like that, or but we'll see. We'll see if it ever comes out, and if it's actually any good, which I highly doubt it will be.
Which is Resistance was a bit cack as well.
Resistance was the other one. Yes, last come with Resident Evil 3. That was
cack.
It was cack.
Yeah,
but that had a better premise than this one because at least it was more Resident Evil like, whereas this is just an online shooter basically with Resident Evil skins and stuff. But I've waffled on for about Resident Evil far too long already. About a game that we don't want to talk about.
No.
So we'll see come January, February if it actually turns up and if it's any good, but probably not. So we'll do one more quick story, which kind of isn't really Xbox related, but I want to see your guys' thoughts on it because I'm quite tempted to pick one up. Valve have announced the Steam Deck, which looks like a big old chunky boy Switch, which is coming in December, I think they said, didn't they?
It's coming this. It's depending on the size that you go for. If you go for the smaller one, you'll get it, or the smaller like storage size. End of the year this year, bigger one, Q2, I think they said for next year. Yeah. So tail end of this year, start first half of next year.
The first wave, I think, comes in, and they gradually rolling them out from there.
Yeah.
Has anybody looked at the specs and stuff? Has anybody tempted to pick one up?
Not until Steam announced that Game Pass is coming to it.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, then it's a no-brainer. You'd be stupid not to buy it.
Yeah, I think that's the same. But then again, I've got my phone with my Rikishi.
True. And your screen on the Rikishi, with your Rikishi thing is probably better than what you would get on the...
Yeah, because it's 1280 by 800, isn't it, on the Steam Deck?
Yeah, it's better. It's better than the Switch, but it's not going to be obviously the same as like an Android or an iPhone or things like that.
Yeah. See, they have announced that you can put. It comes with Steam OS built in, which I think is a Linux-based one.
Yeah.
Which is already over my head, but apparently you can put Windows on there and treat it just like a regular PC. So even though it'd be a handheld, it'll effectively be a handheld PC, which then obviously will allow you to install apps like Game Pass. The Xbox app, or Epic Games app, or GOG, or whatever. So in theory, you can get Game Pass on it, but it would be nice to see. I want to wait until see someone actually do it and see how easy it is, and if it's going to mess anything up before I
can. If it's actually a legit way of doing it, not just like, oh, here's a hack way.
Here's a piggyback type way of getting access to Windows apps. I'd be curious to see how it runs AAA games.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. I mean, it'll run nice indies properly. Again, a lot of Game Pass.
Yeah.
But something like, say, Halo or Gears or something, how is it going to handle something like that?
The one I always go to in regards to that is I've played The Witcher on the original version. I've played it on what was the next gen version when it came out on the One X, and then I will play it again when it comes out on the Series X. But I've also played it on the Switch, and it's the surefire way to ruin that game for anybody that's never played it. And I don't want to then pick up the Steam Deck, and my AAA games that are like that I try and play on the Steam Deck are ruined for me because of how poor it is. I would much rather play cloud-based gaming on my iPad and have a slight delay, but at a much nicer resolution.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
So I think, it needs to be able to perform in the big titles, not just in the indie darling games.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's pointless.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's kind of judging, again, it's all tech spec stuff, which is over my head, but it seems to be roughly in the ballpark of between an Xbox One and a PS4 in terms of the general power, although obviously it's got SSD and stuff like that, which helps elevate it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see how it works and how easy it will be to get, Game Pass or even cloud gaming or whatever on there. But I've got a massive Steam library of stuff I can't play because I haven't got a decent enough computer. So if this does the trick, I might be quite tempted to carry it around with me.
Yeah.
Graham, any interest on your end?
Once again, yeah, obviously I would prefer the wait and see it attitude to see how it actually performs and what people actually think of it. But I'm just not a massive fan of the handheld like that, where you're gripping up the sides of it. I've heard it's quite a heavy boy as well.
Yeah, it looks a chunky boy.
Yeah,
So-
it's wider and a bit deeper than the Switch, as well as obviously a bit heavier.
I don't like playing a Switch like that either. I mean, I've got the bit where the Xbox thing, when it connects on the phone as it clasps upwards, you're still holding the controller as normal.
Yeah.
I much prefer my hand close together. The holding it like there, it bothers me a little bit playing it like that. And so I'm not too fond of playing it that way.
And this one looks a bit odd as well, doesn't it? Because it's almost like the Wii U. So you got the thumbsticks up there, and then you got the buttons and the D-pad to the left and right of the sticks, which rather than below like they would usually be on something like this, which is a bit weird to look at. But then down below you got the touch pads, which work as like mouse cursors basically, and then you got flappy paddles on the back, which is good. As far as there's 2 bumper buttons on each side, I think, isn't there?
It looked like it
yeah.
from the pictures I had seen.
And
Yeah,
then a fully featured touchscreen as well. So it looks like it will give you at least options. But again, as you say, if you prefer to be like that rather than apart. See, I quite like the Wii U gamepad when I used to play with it, because I quite like that sort of form factor. So something like this would suit me.
Another issue I had with it is obviously they've invested time putting something like a touch screen and touch pads into it, and I don't know if maybe something the R&D costs of making something like that could have went into utilising software better, or even putting better hardware inside it. I don't feel like a touch screen's massively important on like a handheld gaming device.
I think it's only there really because it's probably expected at this point, isn't it? There's very few things with screens that you can't touch nowadays.
The thing is, it's obviously like I get like the expectation, but it's not always the best utilization of things. Like taking it off on a side tangent, Elgato had a massive big product drop that they've just had 9 different things, and they brought out a webcam, and a lot of people were in uproar saying it doesn't have 4K. Nobody streams in 4K, so why do you need your webcam to have 4K capability? I'd much rather have a much higher quality 1080p sensor and get the best out of it than add in something that's like 4K that looks nice but nobody utilizes. I'd much rather have better hardware in the console and better software round about it than a touch screen. I don't know how important the touch screen is, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I suppose the only thing there is kind of future proofs, like the camera, for example. You were saying, if it had 4K, you could probably live off that for much longer than you would do if it's only 1080p. Whereas this, although a touchscreen might not be much use other than for typing on a keyboard, perhaps down the line they'll introduce games that just use it solely, which then might increase the reason for it being there basically.
Like, I understand having like the Game Pass games as having on-screen touch control, because if you're playing it on your phone out and about, that's fine. But if you're using a gamepad that has dedicated joysticks and a D-pad, then what, as you say, apart from typing, what other benefit does a touchscreen have? It just feels like it's like what we had said about similar like Resident Evil. Why spend so much time putting work into this when you could put it into something that's actually going to benefit it?
Yeah, there is. I suppose there's always that sort of back and forth argument of what do you want, what could you use better. And I mean, Valve kind of know what they're doing. Did anybody use their Steam controller? Because that looked like a weird shaped owl, but apparently it was really, really very good controller to use.
I had looked in again. What was it? The Steam? What was it? Steam bot?
Steam Link.
Yeah, Steam. No, it was like the Steam console. It was like a tiny.
Oh yeah. That kind of died a death, though.
I looked at that. I was like, oh, that seems like it could be a good idea, but never pulled the trigger on it. But the actual controller to hold is nice, but again, it's never going to beat the ergonomics of an Xbox controller.
No, I think. But according to, again, some of the things I was reading, you can plug in or use Bluetooth to this. So you could, in theory, have that stood up and still use your Xbox controller to play your games.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not as ergonomic as Graham said, clipping it to your controller, so you couldn't carry it around with you. But that's still an option if you wanted to. But again, it comes back to whether it'll run the games very well at all. And of course, whether it'll run Game Pass games at all. We're getting a bit carried away here. Like I said, I'm sure I'm not the only one of us who's got a pretty massive Steam library, and it'd be nice to be able to play them at some point. But yeah, in a nice little handheld form factor, I could be tempted. But there's 3 options, isn't it? I think it's 350 for the 64 gig one, and then it goes up to I think about 650 for the big 512 SSD one.
I'm curious how they're going to compress the games to get them to fit on it. A 64
Yeah,
gig.
it's going to be weird because there's so many games out there these days, which are like 100 gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means you can't play them on the base model. So
So you'd be forced to buy an SD card or
High
something like that.
performing SD card as well. Was
it would have to be a
Yeah.
proper high speed one, otherwise it's pointless.
At which point you might as well just buy the next level up or the top tier one.
Because the price to add the SD card in, you're going to be close to buying the top end one anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, very intriguing. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. And like I said, if it does run Xbox Game Pass and all that, it could be something worth looking at in the future. It could effectively be an Xbox handheld without being an Xbox handheld.
Yeah.
And without having to need an internet connection to stream stuff.
Yeah, true.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on it.
I
And
mean,
plus-
speaking of going off that, do you remember last week we spoke about the X screen?
Yes.
Yes.
I went and bought one.
Good man. Did you also see, just on a wee side note, that they did an external battery test on it as well?
No.
Go and look on YouTube. Go and look on their YouTube page. They done a test for an external battery. I won't spoil the results for you. Go and have a wee nosy.
Yeah, I think it's kind of true because obviously if I'm going around a bit, like I don't mind my Rikishi.
Do you even have an S?
No.
So he's got to buy it, then buy an S.
Of course, I'm gonna buy one. I'll buy one, but see, this doesn't come out until I think late towards the end of the year next year.
I mean, I'll be honest. The price of an S.
There's no rush.
The price of an S just now, I personally would say it'd be stupid not to buy an S. Even if you've got an X, I'd say spending money on an S is good value. Even if you've got the X.
I think it's only like 200 quid. Like I can get one for now.
Yeah. I've got a PS4 sitting there, Pro. That if I trade in, then I get it for like £40 or something.
And the amount of bloody reward points I've got as well. I can
Yeah.
easily just claim now. I've got like I think I'm nearing 200,000. So not even spending it on anything. It's like it's just
So it's worth doing. Like me and Graham have got an S, and I use mine obviously for my weekly commute from my day job. And yes, it's brilliant. Just because it's not as powerful, plugging it into a 1080p hotel TV does the trick. And I've got a little 1080p TV here as well, just sort of sat next to my main one in case I want to play something on the side. Yeah.
I think me and Reese want to talk about playing more games together, like something the Man and Medan's Dark Pictures thing.
Yeah.
It Takes Two, all that kind of malarkey. So it'd be good to have that so we can actually do that more. And the X screen will definitely help.
Well, she might not want to play with you after she heard what you said earlier on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't let
I should listen. I mean, if she finds out I bought this, she'll probably mind at me for that. Like, haven't you got it? Haven't you got an S? Like exact same thing you said to me, right? I said,
No, I was just confused. I thought you didn't have one. I thought you might have had one.
No.
Yeah,
I haven't. But yeah, I'm definitely going to pick one up because I said I want to. Obviously, I've got the older Xboxes, but I want the new ones.
Yeah.
You kind of have to know that you've invested.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
I have to buy one really. So
if you don't, I'll give you 20 quid for the screen. It's fine.
20 quid for your Xbox, you mean? Oh, cheers, mate.
Yeah, no, it's well worth doing. Obviously, I missed out on that chat because I hadn't barged in by that point. But for me, even though as I said, I travel every week, the price was it 140 quid? You said, Ian, wasn't it, for the Kickstarter? Yeah. Even that to me is still a bit. I don't need to. Like as I said, the rooms I stay in have got a screen. At home, I've got a screen, and I'm sure it'd be nice. I'm sure it's really good, but I personally, excuse me, it's not for me. Not for me.
I mean, I've thought of something. Being in the UK, we don't usually get to the bit of benefit of it, but weather today, nice ice cold beer, back garden, screen sitting on your lap, boom. Resident Evil playing in the background, Jay. That'd be you, sorry.
And the console burning a hole in your legs.
We get a little side table, and if you're talking about this battery thing, that's going to intrigue me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think if there was a battery thing which worked well, give you a good few hours, I think that would make it more of an interesting proposition.
Yeah.
but still have
Unless
to be
Ross
near.
is setting you up for a fail and it went horribly wrong on the YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Shit, I should have straightened this out.
We got a whole 5 minutes out of it.
30 minutes in, dead.
I might be distracted for the next couple of minutes, so move along.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Anyways, Steam Deck. It looks good, but we're going to wait and hopefully, if it does work, maybe we can look at getting one or testing one out. That would be nice. It looks very good anyway. Like I said, very Wii U like, which I am a fan of. Okay. Other video games. Video game challenges. Who likes a video game challenge? I do. We all do, really.
We all do.
We look especially like a quiz, don't we, Ian?
Yep.
Yeah.
3 weeks time, babies.
Is it?
It will be, yep. So unfortunately,
We've had to put it back a week, but it's
we have
fine.
to put it back a week because.
You can't rush perfection.
But no, to everyone know, obviously we normally do a quiz. Obviously, we are do a quiz every milestone of the 10th, so 30th, 40th. Fortunately, the 40th one will have to be postponed a week because we went to my sister's wedding party. She got married in a registry office a couple of months ago, and now she's having a party for it.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
So congratulations, sister. And yeah, I'll go up there. So unfortunately, I won't be able to be that way, but the week after, definitely. So if you're curious from the quiz, that'll be August the 8th, as long as you other 4. I'm not sure if Dan, who's probably misses, probably beat him up, put him in the cage behind
In fairness, if he puts in the request just now, he'll only get a slight ass kicking.
That's it, true.
Small.
He's got to ask every day and just work his way up to be like, oh, you said I could. Yeah, no,
Sure.
yeah.
How ominous must it be to look up every day and all of a sudden you just see.
You're thinking that he objects to it. He's definitely into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on before we slander him too much.
Before he just hugs his clementine pillow, goes, okay.
That's why I was afraid we were going to get to the Clementine. That's what I'm trying to pass on. Anyway, video game challenges, as we were. 30 days / 30 week challenge. We are on question 20, which is your favorite genre. So let's go for you, Grayman. What's your favorite genre in video games?
I have picked RPG. You can't beat them, and you just invest yourself into them. And yeah, it just takes you out of your current day-to-day life, and you get to expose yourself to something else for a bit.
See, I really thought you were going to pick racing, like sim racing.
Yeah.
Or sim racing, like proper, yeah. You love it.
like Gran Turismo, Forza, the normal series,
I thought he might have picked FIFA. I love FIFA.
Properly worrying about like what PSI your tires are and how stiff your shocks
I'd
are.
rather dive into Farming Simulator before I get into racing.
So RPG. So is there any, well, I'm sure I know the answer to this, but is there any particular RPG that sort of does the trick for you?
Well, the Fantasy Star series has obviously killed a few consoles back in the day.
You bastard, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a few others that, I mean, obviously I'm getting well into the Yakuza series at the moment. The Dragon Age series, all good. Mass Effect series, all good. Yeah, there's plenty of them, and they're all good.
Quick wee side question about RPGs. Do you prefer fantasy RPGs or sci-fi RPGs?
I'll go with either. There's literally, I could take either. Like, yeah, going into new age, going into old age, futuristic, middle age, old school. Yeah. It's just, you dive into different things. It's equivalent of like reading a virtual book. You sort of immerse yourself into that world and you just get stuck in.
I mean, as much as Mass Effect is my top series of all time, The Witcher's right at the back of it. So, again,
two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, trying to split it is almost impossible for me. I know some people prefer one to the other, but nah.
You could say Elder Scrolls to Fantasy Star as well. Just different ways. That's me. They're all good. That's me. Can't beat a good RPG.
Right. Especially when you pick a good fantasy one. No, none of this sci-fi nonsense. Ross, what about yourself? What's your genre of choice?
I went for RPG, but to mix it up a wee bit, RPG was ahead by a mile. So the other ones that I've put in, either an RTS, so a real-time strategy, or a survival game. It's probably one of my two other ones that I default to. I love Command and Conquer. I love sort of games like Civilization, as much as not quite as RTS as the rest. Halo Wars, loved that as well. Not so big a fan on the console version, but on the PC it was brilliant. And then survival games, you've seen like games like Green Hell, the games like
Rust.
Oh.
Daisy, just anything that involves tactical playing, not just you go all out and hope for the best. I'm not a big first-person shooter game. I'm not good at them for that exact reason. I'm more slow and methodical. If I play PUBG, I sit in one spot for the whole game and then move as I need to move. Much rather play it like that. So I'll probably say RTS just ahead of survival, but RPG would probably be my favourite.
Fair enough, fair enough. And obviously, as you mentioned before, Witcher is kind of like up there. You got Mass Effect, and you got all the other kind of good titles, and then you start talking about survival, and we mine and Graham eyes glass over. So,
No. I don't mind some survivals, but Rust can.
No,
yeah.
Rust is incredibly difficult to get into. Same with Daisy. That's why
Daisy is the worst game I've ever played.
That's why I would say, see, I was saying with Green Hell, as much as it's an extreme survival game. You need to drink, you need to survive, you need to not get infected, X, Y, and Z. It's infinitely better than Daisy and Rust. Infinitely better. It's not even close in comparison as to how well it plays and how, I don't want to say easier it is, but accessible, I would probably use as the best one. It is difficult to do, but it's easy to learn what you need to do to survive. Compared to every time you load up a Rust server, you're like, yeah, I know I need to get food, I know I need to get water. Oh look, there's somebody that's got a pickaxe and has just murdered me 3 seconds after I spawn onto the beach.
Yeah,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't even tried Rust yet, but I've tried Ark and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and I just
Ark's not as bad as the other two. Ark you can make you can make Ark really good compared to the other two, but the other two are just so toxic. It's unreal.
Yeah, that's running around with my vest and pants, getting cold and looking for food before I got bludgeoned to death.
Exactly, and that's it's a shame because they should have like I don't know if they should have like a level thing, like you progress and once you've reached level 5, then you start encountering elements. So it's giving you time to build a base, get at least basic provisions. But this whole you spawn on the beach, and people know where you spawn because you always spawn on the beach, which is on the outskirts of the map. So they always know where you're going to spawn. So they just wait. And it doesn't do anything apart from ruin everybody else's experience.
But that's what those kind of cunts get on with, isn't it?
Exactly.
I'm having fun, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Spawn killing, ganking that's been about for a while.
Exactly. But that's why I would highly recommend giving Green Hell a try because it is a different take on a hardcore survival game. And it's multiplayer PvE. You're only having to fight against the jungle compared to Rust or like that, so you can group up and play it.
One day. Perhaps it'll come to Game Pass and we can play it then for our
That would be
Game Pass.
fantastic.
And then maybe
chance.
I was going to say maybe we'll get a game in a month between all of us. Anyway, Ross, Ian, what is your favourite genres or genre?
So my favourite genre, without a shadow of doubt, if everyone knows who I am, has to be stealth.
Stealth baby. What's a stealth baby?
I do love a first-person shooter. Don't get me wrong. Like, for example, my game of all times, Titanfall, probably. But like I say, I do love a first-person shooter, like Apex, all that kind of malarkey, Call of Duties, fortunately. But yeah, stealth, without a shadow of doubt, goes number one. Hitman, such a fantastic way of playing it. Dishonored, we can just go in and out of a level without seeing anyone. Just kill the main target and get out, and no idea that
you don't even have to kill the main target. You can do them in a non-violent, less violent way.
Yeah. Even if it's a bit clutching straws a bit, even Cyberpunk you can play stealthily. I love doing that.
Yeah, that's really hard though, I found.
Oh yeah, but it's still good fun to do it, Yeah, it made it hard. Obviously you get towards the end, like you get spotted and the whole fucking world's after you.
Yeah. Fucking bullets everywhere. Oh fuck.
Exactly, yeah. But that's for me. Some of the most fun games I've had recently in recent months have been stealth for me. So and I think it's always my go-to if I see a game that's stealthy. I'm like, ooh, that's
all right.
me.
So I'll word the question slightly differently for you because, as I said, I asked Graham an example. Ross gave us an example. for you, what would you prefer as a step? Like, if you could only play one more stealth game, would you go for Hitman, Dishonored, or Splinter Cell?
If I could only play one more, oh,
That is a bastard of a question.
bastard. I know. Well, considering I haven't played Splinter Cell in about 10 years, I feel like it's been. I can eliminate that one. So it's between Dishonored and Hitman. So if they brought out a new Dishonored or brought out a new Hitman.
Vampire Rain.
Sorry, Soul Vampire Rain.
Greatest game of all time.
I can't pick. That's too mean to pick. Because they're so different. Because Dishonored gives my extra love of first-person shooter into it. Because FPS. But Hitman is just got that's something for me. I just love doing it. Like I play it so frequently because they've got the exclusive targets, which you get like one or 2 months, where you get a unique kill. You've got to do it all. You have no idea who they are, you also know who they are. I mean, you have no idea where they are because you can't use the vision to see where they are. You've got to explore, listen to the clues and stuff.
Yeah.
Then Dishonored, I've had such fun with the 3 they brought out that I can't pick. I'm afraid I won't pick.
That's fair enough.
Go on, should I pick? Fuck it, I'll pick Hitman. Fuck it. There we go. Happy?
You're a brave man. I'm not happy. But
I would agree with that answer if I'm honest. I would pick Hitman over Dishonored.
I do love Dishonored. Don't get me wrong, and it's such a brilliant game. And if they brought a third one out, maybe I might go back into it and say maybe Dishonored 3. But
Hitman,
I've played more Hitman.
I love the flexibility of Hitman. You got not an infinite amount of ways to kill your targets, but you can be all out. Go to the place you need to go to, kill the person, that's it. Or you can booby trap X amount of things that set up a way of killing it, and you can just stand there. You've booby trapped it, and you can stand next to the exit and just wait. And
that's what I mean. Yeah, boom. There's multiple storylines of where you can play
exactly, and I just think
actually kill your target. Whereas Dishonored's only got way 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think Hitman hits the nail exactly on the head. There isn't one set way to be a Hitman. You don't just shoot the target and that's it. You find ways to eliminate a target regardless. And I think it encompasses that perfectly. That's why I would say that would take first place over Dishonored.
Yeah.
See,
that's what I think you put a nail on the head with my wording wise. It's just that little extra edge it has to it. And plus they're always updating the game.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the new 7 Deadly Sins, which they brought out, but I'm waiting for all of them to come out before I play it.
I think we've killed Graham. But I will talk about more stealth games just very quickly. I'd be opposite you. I've never played Hitman, at least not more than maybe a mission. Despite the fact that as we've said before, I really should get into it. But yeah, Dishonored for me is the pinnacle of stealth.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Dishonored. I absolutely love it. I'm not slating it one bit. It's just I absolutely also really do love Hitman.
Yeah, no,
Metal Gear as well. Metal Gear, amazing game, pure stealth.
Yeah,
if you play it properly, it's meant to be a pure stealth game. You're not meant to be running in, shooting all the guards, one to the next room, shoot all the guards. No, you're meant to take him out, put him into a locker, slowly walk around, then watch about 30 minutes of cutscenes,
and then go Metal Gear. Dun, 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 dun.
What is that noise?
Huh?
Whose footprints are these?
Yeah. No, I wrote an article for another website a long time ago about how Dishonored had ruined stealth games because it was so perfectly paced. I just like when I went back to play Splinter Cell or when I tried to play any other stealth game, I was like, I just want to play Dishonored because it's just so good. And again, you can kill the target or you can dispatch them in a non-lethal way, which are usually worse because they end up with their tongue cut out and their ears cut off or something, and they're stuck in a mine working for the rest of their lives or something. Brilliant. But I do need to try Hitman. I really do need to actually get into a Hitman. Obviously, Hitman 3 is a recent one, which is
free. And if you get it, pick up. It lets you play the other ones as well. It's not like
it gives you the option.
Yeah. It's one of them. I should because I'm pretty sure I'd love it if I properly got into it. It's just one of them.
Exactly. And also, if you get into it, you play the story missions and you just you go through it like the way it's meant to played. And I obviously love that's me. I go, shit was born. I was running, killed the target, ran out, and it was done. It's like no, you're meant to follow the stories. Like they've got little story missions. Follow the story missions. Play slowly. Find your own unique way how you want to play it, so you don't get spotted. Get a 5-star silent assassin.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think if it was in first person, I think I'd like it a lot more. That's the
something-
only
yeah,
thing
I see,
that
I
sort
see your
of
point.
Yeah.
perhaps
I-
put me off.
I just like how much content you get in Hitman. I mean, it's like because you've got the initial one, like the only thing you need to do to progress the story is kill your target. That's it. And then you go in the objectives, and there's like 30 different objectives of how to finish this level. And it's
Yeah,
like
so there's so many different ways you can do it.
exactly. It's like so as long as you kill the target, you can progress through the storyline. So if you just want to do whatever you want to do to get the target done, fine. But then there's like I think it's just the one that springs to mind is if you're doing like the training mission on Hitman 2, I think it is, and you're at the or is it Hitman 1? Can't remember.
Hitman 1 training mission.
Yeah, the training facility type idea, and you have to dress up as a Russian general to get access to the room, kill the guy, get
Yeah.
out, and it's like, why do I need to get dressed up as the Russian general to do it? I don't know. It's an objective, and it's a different way of killing this guy. Oh, okay, cool. Let's do this. And it's just it adds so much replayability to the game, which as much as Dishonored is great, it doesn't have that, or it doesn't have it as in depth as Hitman does.
I mean, there's even ways where you can actually piss off the other target
To
So
kill
he
somebody
goes and-
else.
So
Yeah.
it goes. Sometimes there's like 2 or 3 targets in the mission you got to kill,
Yeah.
and sometimes you piss up one target off so much that it will go and kill off the other target. You tell him like you give him stuff or tell him stuff like this is a fucking disgrace, and he'll go off and kill the target for
Yeah.
you. Then you kill him, you go and kill him afterwards.
Speaking of killed, I think we've killed Graham.
He looks like he's about to be assassinated.
Just the inside. I mean, he's
I
still,
mean,
he's still
I wish
alive
he
on the
wishes
outside,
Hitman was out to kill him.
but just on the
Agent
inside,
47,
he's
come and
just
kill me.
disappeared a little bit.
All right, well let's All right, well let's bring him back then. I'll talk about my genre very quickly. I struggled to pick, but the main one I wanted to pick really was stealth games. So I don't know if you played any stealth games like Dishonored or Graham, you don't. No,
First person shooters like Dishonored. Oh.
I like a broad range of stuff, anything pretty much except for sports games. And what did you say? On Civilization, out of 4X type things. I can't get into them.
RTS.
Yeah, I don't mind RTSs so much, but the proper hardcore like
Yeah.
Civ games I can't do.
Games like what's the other one? I can't remember the name of it, but it's where it's like you're not just controlling. It's not like Civilization where you build an
Age of
army.
Empires.
Tropico.
No, not. I forgot. It's on the tip of my tongue for life. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
all them sort of things like that. To be
I'll come
honest.
back
I mean,
to you on it. I've got it on my
I,
Steam.
yeah, I like Command and Conquer and things like that, but yeah, anything more hardcore than that is not for me. But
Oh,
what I
are
do
you me or
enjoy,
something. Fucking hell. How many genres are you going to pick?
what I do enjoy is I'm going to go with horror. Surprise,
Oh,
surprise.
good man.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Wait a minute.
Go
Whoa,
on, then.
are you
What's your
classing?
favourite horror?
Are you classing Resident Evil as an out and out horror?
I'm classing classic Resident Evil as out and out horror. But also along that line, we got things like
House of the Dead.
Silent Hill.
There we
No,
go.
House of the Dead's a light gun game, which is also written down, but I was going to stay clear of that.
But
for
does
fear.
House of the Dead count as horror?
No, that ain't a horror game. That's just an out and out action game. Anyway, we're getting into arcade chat. Not yet. We're not ready. Yeah, I love horror games, all sorts. I've played some really good ones. I've played some really bad ones. And I've got a couple on the docket at the minute, actually, speaking of which. But I'm not allowed to talk about them yet.
Have you
because I haven't-
played Made of Scare?
I have played the first 20 minutes and then I had to turn it off because I had to go and I haven't got back to it. But I do want to get back to that one because it does seem pretty good.
In regards to horrors, do you prefer something like an Outlast, or
Outlast, that's the one I was thinking of. Thank you.
or do you prefer something like a Silent Hill? Do you prefer something that is physically visceral and scares the living daylights out of you by jumping right up into your face, or do you prefer the constant state of uneasiness?
See, I'm easy either or, but I would prefer something like Outlast.
Do you prefer that, or is that just what you feel easier playing, more comfortable playing?
Oh no, I don't feel more comfortable playing at all.
See, I'm the opposite. I think like Silent Hill 2 will always live in my mind as being the best horror game ever because you've got your visceral aspects, you've got Pyramid Head, you've got the nurses, but it's that siren. So when you're going into the nightmare world in Silent Hill and you hear the sort of siren kicking in, and that anytime I hear that siren, I still get goosebumps to this day. And Silent Hill 2 is what, 20-year-old almost.
Yeah, it was like 2002,
Yeah, it's
2003, something like that. Yeah.
Old. It's an old game, and that Siren still has that effect on me based on my experiences of Silent Hill 2 because it was the pinnacle of a horror game to me.
Yes.
Whereas Outlast is, oh, look, I'm in your face, blah, and then that's it.
See, yeah, I mean, when I played Outlast originally, I played it on PC with, and we were on Skype with a few friends at the time, and we all started it together. We were playing through because it was, you know, it was like 2 a.m. We just finished work and stuff. And that opening hour of Outlast was fucking. They were about 2 seconds ahead of me, so they'd be like, "Ah!" and I'd be like, "What? Ah!" We just went through that, and yeah, I do enjoy ones like, say, for example, Resident Evil 7. Getting back to the Resident Evil, that at least let you fight back a little bit.
See,
whereas in Outlast, you can't. You've just got to hide and hope for the best. But I enjoy that as well because it's more tension. Like you sort of get in a locker and you see him walking past you, and Graham's fucking loving this. He's proper stealth in the past, and you see him. They've gone. Have they gone? I don't know. You poke your head out and they start fucking jump in your face and scare the shit out of you. But then I also like, you know, more out and out, like direct, like this is just fucking gross horror type, like just throwing dead bodies and chopped up things and blood and guts and stuff at you all times.
This is what I mean. Like, there's so many good survival horror games, but they've also got incorporated stealth, which intrigues me, but I'm too scared to play.
Yeah, I mean, like, the best part of Resident Evil 8 is the part where it's survival horror. I won't go into any more depth for people that's not played it and want to experience it. But Jill, agree, the best part is the part where you are in a survival horror type situation.
100%.
And that's the thing that, as much as the rest of the game's fantastic, that was head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah,
that one area. And it was the thing is, it was a part that Jay might think differently, but I wasn't expecting anything other than what I had seen in trailers.
Yeah.
To be, and then you get this section and it's like mind-blowingly amazing.
Yeah, okay.
See, that bit could have gone on for much longer.
Oh yeah, like see if you had swapped how long the first part was with that, I'd have been totally fine with it.
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed about 7, because that was that sort of section spread out over pretty much an entire game.
Yeah.
Although you could at least fight back, but a lot of it was, you know, hiding and running from the monsters and sort of just creepy atmosphere and stuff. Whereas 8 went a bit like his action, horror bit, or action, more action, big robots, big fucking tank things full of garbage and
that was cool. And instead we got like a whole, whatever the whole internet basically thought was, oh look, there's a big woman that can like crush watermelons with her thighs type idea. That's what we got. And instead of going into the part where it was like, this is going to be the awesome part, we got 8-foot watermelon crusher.
Dirty porn perverts.
Pretty much.
Internet, right? Did anybody play? What was it? I'm trying to think, because Bloober Team obviously did the medium, and they done Blair Witch, and it was Layers of Fear. Did anybody play that?
Yes, that the one that's got the artwork that's like the painting on the front of it.
Yeah. See, that's to me, even though it's pretty much the same as Outlast, I hated that game. It wasn't scary, and it was incredibly linear, and it just didn't really, like, you could see the scares coming a mile away. And we've lost Ross; he's died.
Yeah, I'm still here audio wise, but I don't know what the fuck's happened to my camera.
He's so scared talking about his father games. He's
see, something like that, even though it was technically a scary game, but just bored me to tears. But then the next game, Blair Witch, which I played, Layers of Fear 2 as well, was boring. Blair Witch was all right. I only played a little bit. I haven't finished it. And then the medium obviously got rave reviews across the board, included from our own Ross. Check out xbox.com for his review. Blah blah blah. Hit the like and subscribe and all that. So yeah. So basically, Graham's pretending to be Fraser as well. So yeah, horror.
No, is he ruining the cameras?
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. That's why I haven't done that, but I'm still here.
Our host man is gone. If we don't survive this, we love you. It's like the Blair Witch or something. It just like completely fucked us.
After your camera instance, is Dan hacking us?
But yeah, so yeah, horror is good. Just a quick shout out, Light Gun FPS puzzle platformers, also very good. But yeah, I think personally, horror is probably top tier. All right, while Ross sorts out his technical difficulties, because you know he's the man for technical difficulties. Ian,
Hi.
What have you been playing? I know what
I-
you've been playing.
I know you do know what I've been playing. So I finally rolled credits on Gears of War 5.
Nice.
So that was definitely fun.
Damn right it was.
Nah, it
no,
wasn't-
you fun.
Okay, I'll say I must admit, it was, how can I put this? It was fun gameplay wise playing with you. I wouldn't play it solo. And Kate is still an annoying bitch. Even if she's played by Abby from what's not Abby, is it?
Yeah, Abby, yeah, from last
Abby.
week's part
Abby
two.
from- Even like nothing against Abby, nothing against Ellie. Ellie? Not Ellie. What's her name? Kate. But just she was just so whingy.
Yeah. Her character was that was kind of like the point of her story, was she was going through some shit, which you saw obviously, but
yeah.
The story in Gears, although I always enjoy it, it's sort of secondary to just the sheer action of just chainsawing shit in half and
Yeah.
blowing shit up.
The ending was anticlimactic.
I know, yeah, the ending got royally panned when I reviewed it. I was quite happy with it to start with, and then a few weeks afterwards, I was like, well, actually, it kind of did kind of sit like almost like Halo 2. I don't know if you played that, but that just kind of ended like,
yeah.
Where's the end? Where's the rest of it?
It's like, oh, okay, you basically all you've said is, okay, we're making Gear 6. That's literally what they've said. Because they teased it, and then did something different and like ended. I was like, okay then, so yeah, we're having Gear 6, and that's clearly what they're going with.
And as you said when we were playing it, they almost cheated a little bit, because we had a boss fight at the end of chapter 3, and then that same boss fight basically come back for the end of the game, just in a sort of bigger form.
And it's like, what's the point? Like, okay, what's the point having them? I guess sometime in 3, in the third chapter act, we didn't kill him. So in the fourth one, he comes back and we kill him then, I guess. But then how the fuck did he travel for this that far away? Yeah.
It just come and just destroy the city. And although the mechanics were different, sorry, it wasn't quite, it was a good end boss fight, but it wasn't like a definitive one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it could have done with something else more like, right, this is the end of the game, whereas you just sort of beat it like, oh, that's the end.
And those beacons are terrible as well. They're fucking, how much life they got in them? Oh, we've lost a beacon. We're fucking making them more durable. Fuck yeah. Like, seriously, there's going to be life or death. Oh, put it down. Oh, knocked over, it fell over. Oh, we lost it. But what?
What did you think? What did you think of the choice you had to make?
I don't really give 2 fucks. I guess I hadn't warmed to either of them.
Is it
I picked the opposite to what Jay picked the first time, basically.
So is it far enough past launch date that we can talk about it, or is it still?
I think so. It's been like what, 2 years at this point?
Yeah,
nearly so 2 years.
Spoiler warning.
Spoilers for Gears 5. Should you care, Graham? Are you listening? Spoilers.
I'm alive. Just
jump out a minute and a half, 2 minutes if you're worried about Gears 5 ending.
I wasn't playing as Kate, so I was playing as one of the other characters, and the guy that I was playing with, it was what the melt that is, decided he was Dan? And it wasn't Dan. Oh god, I could never imagine playing that with Dan. Christ, I would need copious amounts of alcohol to even get through the first mission. He decided to pick for me, and he decided to save JD.
Okay.
I was like, not a snowball's chance in hell. I haven't played a mission as JD because he's an annoying prick, and I'll never pick another Phoenix over having Marcus in the game. So I picked the other guy. He survived and JD died.
See, I wanted to pick Dale, and then James said, but I haven't done the other ending. So I was like, okay, fine.
No. I said, I picked Dale as well. And you went, all right, we'll reload the other one then.
Yeah, basically that too. So yeah, we had Dale alive, then we swapped it to JD because JD hadn't seen the other one. Yeah. So
and then I didn't get to hear after cutscenes because my sound cut out for about 10 minutes.
So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, how big a difference does it make with Marcus? Obviously,
fuck all.
So he's what? Just as upset that Dale's dead.
The only difference that I remember from and why is I sorry, I'm just looking at the YouTube video. It seems to have frozen. Oh no, it's just Graham staying still because he's so bored to tears. Jokes. The only difference it made really is in that first cutscene when you see Marcus. If JD dies, you sort of look at him and he sort of runs off in a huff. Whereas if JD's alive, he comes up and gives him a hug.
Yeah, and then the guy makes a joke, and then he gets what's his name? The annoying guy.
Fars, yeah.
Fars, he makes a joke and then gets really upset that.
Yeah.
He's
But I'm
not
pretty
there.
sure he makes that joke about JD if you kill it, if he dies. He
Oh,
comes
okay.
out and goes, JD, guess who gets to save your ass again? Is shit. I think that was the only mild difference. The gameplay didn't change, the story ending didn't change. It was just that little cutscene. I assume
if they do Gear 6 and go, okay, which person did you save? I probably will pick Dell because JD's a prick.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Oh.
playing as Dell, and I didn't see
Anyway, yeah.
anything. I didn't have any sort of loyalty to play JD. Like, he was Marcus's son, and apart from that, I still didn't have anything to save him with. And that says how poorly JD was written.
Slight tangent before we move on. Do you think come Gear 6 they might end up bringing back whoever died
Like, you can't.
as not as alive, as like a Lambert or like some sort of end boss or something?
But that's
Because
not
they sort of died and then they fell into the ground, but they didn't really.
I'll show their body or anything, so it could be like a possessed.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
I mean, if what's her name? Kate's mum is basically the locust god, whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe she could do something
grabs
with
a
him,
hold of
bring him
yeah.
back.
Like, if
Yeah.
he's not quite
Yeah.
dead, but she gets a hold of him before he dies and
Yeah,
infects
shoves him in one of them
with-
pods and just brings him back to as some sort of hulking behemoth.
Yeah, you could
That
do
could be
something like
interesting.
that. Yeah.
I don't know if they will, but that was just something I thought. But
No.
Ian, anyway, other than Gears, which you enjoyed immensely, probably game of the year, big game of your life. Anything else?
Yep. So I've started the Watchdog Legions DLC. So that's DLC based on. It's still in London set up, but it's brought back. Oh my god,
Aiden
Aiden Pearce, isn't
Pierce.
Aiden Pierce. It was Aiden Pierce. I was like, I thought, is it Aiden Pierce? It's like, when to say it, and I was like, am I right? Yeah, Aiden Pierce. He's been brought him back for missions now. So obviously he is the playable character. They've also brought Wretch back from, I think it was in the second one mainly, rather than the first one. But they brought them two characters back for the DLC called Bloodline. So I've started doing that, and yeah, it's quite a lot of fun so far. I've only done the first couple of missions, but I guess it's coming to the kind of. I'm hoping it's not become predictable. From what I'm guessing happen, I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I hope they actually do more of a plot twist with it. But I am seeing it kind of like a mile off that they're going to do this, which I don't want to spoil too much on it.
Yeah. Wait, when did it come out? A couple of days ago, wasn't it?
Earlier this month, I think. So maybe, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, maybe.
Okay.
I completely forgot about it. I was like, oh my God, it's out now. Shit. And then I was like, yeah. So I started doing that. So yeah, it's actually quite good, actually. I kind of love, again, Graham's going to love this. It's a bit of a stealth game. So you can play the mission stealthily. And I like doing that because they don't see me.
Yeah, I'm playing this podcast a bit stealthy at the moment.
So you're getting in the mood already, Greg. Load up some Dishonored and let us know how you feel next week.
I'm playing it so stealthily, I'm not playing it.
So yeah, I actually really like it. So again, back to my roots, playing in London,
Tan.
playing it all stealth, and yeah, it's actually good fun. I actually love it. I'm hoping they don't, like I say, I hope they don't do the thing I'm thinking of, but with Wretch being in it, I'm pretty sure they're going to do duplicate characters and you're going to work together rather than hate each other.
From what I've heard about it is that the introduction of this this sort of expansion of it has made the game, the way that this game is playing out in the storyline of it, has made the game feel like what Legion should have been from the get-go.
Yeah, I kind of, from that kind of mindset moment, I'm really thinking with Legion, they shouldn't. I guess I understand what they're doing. They're trying something different where every character is playable. But now I'm trying to think, no, actually, I need 2 or 3 characters, and now make it really, really good.
Yeah, I think that's what what I've read about the DLC about it so far is that the way that they've done this is how the whole of Legion should have been played.
Yeah, because it's one of the things where you grow used to the characters and actually got a bit of a personality. Whereas when you're playing it with Legion before, it was, even though I did love the game and you could pick anyone you want, you actually kind of do want maybe 2 or 3 characters you play as and grow to love. Yeah,
Fair
we'll
enough.
see.
Good. I'm just watching the trailer now. I mean, I've not played any Watch Dogs at all, but it looks all right. Looks like fairly Ubisoft action, open world goodness. Nice. Okay. Anything else? Do you want to talk about your last one, or should we move on?
Well,
Go
last one.
on.
go on. My last one is not an Xbox game.
Oh.
Sorry, there are games that are not Xbox games.
What?
So yeah, Did I? Yeah, I started playing back into World of Warcraft Shadowlands. So I picked it up. Yeah, so I picked it up, wasted loads of money, picked it up, bought a subscription again, and I've restarted World of Warcraft Shadowlands. So yeah, I'm actually investing into that now. They've brought the level back, scaled it back down because I went up to like 120 and it got ridiculous. So they scaled it all back down to 60 again, back to its roots. I think I'm about level 53 now. Slowly going through the storyline of the next lot of games. For next DLC, what do you call it? Expansion pack, not DLC.
So, like, I'm watching the trailers now, and as much as I'd be desperate to get into something like this, like, for what I can see at the start of this game, it like looks very Lich King is, like with the whole frozen type idea and things like that. But
yeah. So yeah, they're kind of going back to that kind of like they're using the Lich King as like the kind of aspect of the game. But I think at the moment they kind of not kill the Lich King, but they kind of damage it enough they can't really do as much as they want to. And Sylvanas, who's the leader of the Horde, at the moment it's gone a bit crazy.
I mean, it's definitely something like, oh, there he's just showing up. It's something, as I say, like, I'd love to be able to get into, but I feel like the boat's too far gone.
It's a heavy game to start now. I mean, because obviously you miss so many expansion packs. So what they've done now, which is quite good, is they've basically, when you start level, you can do a thing called a time warp event, and where I can't remember her name and the character in the game, but what happens is you basically, to level up your character, you can go back and do a past expansion pack to level up.
All right, okay.
So if you do, say you're curious, I really want to go through the Burning Crusade storyline rather than the other ones, you go do a time warp event and then you slowly level up through that. And then once you've done through all those missions for that kind of event, you can go back and pick another expansion pack if you wanted to, and level up. Like,
was there not a panda one? Was like the pandas not like a big thing?
Mr. Pandaria, yeah, that was one.
So now the thing is, like, I'm probably in the minority, but I really enjoyed the Warcraft movie.
I'd like to too. Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it too.
And I think
did you both watch it, Graham and Jamie?
I think I might have accidentally watched it.
And that's the thing. Like, I watched the movie and I was like quite intrigued by it all, and I was already intrigued in Warcraft. But I just feel like it's one of those things that unless you were quite into it when it first started, you've got like a hell of a job trying to catch up to where you need to be to really get the most out of the game just now.
So I started on the original World of Warcraft. I played through heavily, and I think the both can vouch for me, addicted to that one, Burning Crusade, Lich King. So I played heavily through them. So they were kind of like my kind of peak of gaming where I was like always playing World of Warcraft. Then I kind of slowly dropped off. What was after that? Cataclysm was after that one, wasn't it?
Mm.
I just remember all the TV adverts where they had like Mr. T, Ozzy Osbourne, and they just had like ones like that, and I just thought like that's badass as hell.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things. You didn't really play it much, did you, Graham and Jamie?
No.
Yeah, I dabbled, but yeah, I couldn't sort of commit that much time to it. It was just too slow for me. Just the grind was just tedious.
Yes, it's completely not my sort of game. It's, as Graham said, the grind is just too much. I can't. I'd like to play a lot of different stuff rather than one game over and over again.
No, I know what you mean.
It just, not for me.
Yeah, because it was kind of heavy grind. I said for the first two, Burning Crusade and Lich King, I played heavily. And Cataclysm, I kind of dropped off a bit. Didn't enjoy that one too much. But then Mr. Pandaria got back heavily into it again. And then I dropped off again on World of Draenor and a little bit of Legion. But then I think heavily I played Legion. I did a couple of the raids for Legion at normal level, and now back into now. Was it Battle of Azeroth, Shadowlands? Battle of Azeroth I did for a bit, not a lot. Again, I kind of played through a little bit, and then obviously now Shadowlands in 2012. So it's 9 expansion packs. Yeah, so
I mean, it's been going what 20 odd years now. Is that right? Because I remember when I was working in game. I worked in game. I think 2005 to 2007, something like that. And whenever an expansion come out, we'd get all the ones coming in. Again, I don't want to disparage anyone, but you could tell that they play World of Warcraft because they come in and they just shuffle up, pick the game case up, pick it, put it down on the counter, and then just shuffle off again, and like never see him again.
I've made some really good friends in World of Warcraft actually, because it's quite a sort of social environment. You make a guild, and when you go into the guilds and stuff, I've made some really good friends through it.
I mean, see,
but yeah, it's just one of those ones where you've got to invest time and heavily time into it, otherwise you just fall behind.
Like sitting watching this trailer just now for, I think this is the Shadowlands. Yeah, this is the Shadowlands trailer that I've got running. Yeah, I mean that trailer by itself just looks absolutely like outstanding. Like
the trailer looks good.
The trailer looks,
but then you play it and you're like,
it's not like that at all.
And it's like
good.
Wow.
So far, I'm enjoying it.
It's the same as what's the other one? Warhammer. Warhammer as well is like that. Looks like I could get lost in the Warhammer lore, but finding a place to start Warhammer is like fucking It's not like finding a needle in a haystack. It's like finding a needle in a stack of needles. It's fucking impossible, man. It's just
Yeah, it's got, like I say, they've got this time war event where you can go back and slowly through the game to level up your character if you wanted to cure of one expansion pack. But yeah, it's a long grind now to get anywhere if you want to find out about any of the expansion packs. But I'd like to at least play each one because I played it when I was young and it got me like how much I loved it. So I want to play at least an expansion pass through it whilst it's live rather than going back to it.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not? Now's the time. New patches out. Let's give it a go. So I've got a couple of ways to play after I've leveled up to 60.
Why the hell not, eh? So video games. So all kinds of good games there. Let's let Graham talk for a bit because we've kind of dominated the conversation with all the stuff that he can't stand. Graham, what have you been playing this week?
I can stand World of Warcraft. I just haven't played it for a long time. And they never did a Return of Hoggar sort of expansion pack.
Hoggar will come back soon, don't you worry.
I did a bit of a gaming law break thing. I started too many threads just because I could, and there was a lot on offer. So I've proceeded in progressing a little bit more in Yakuza 4. So that one's started off very interesting because you don't start off with Kiryu, you're starting off with a different guy, Akiyama, I think his name is. So he's kind of runs a loan business, but in a strange way that he never adds interest. It's kind of, he's a bit of a weird character, but he's still just as kick-ass as Kiryu. But I think there's up to a point you might switch to Kiryu, but at the moment this guy seems to be the main one that's taken over. You can see how it's going to slot it in to the other side of the story.
This one is also you just move around, don't it? It's not turn-based.
Right.
Sorry, turn-based. There we go.
You just move around.
Yeah,
you move around in all of them.
Yeah, unlike the rest of the games where you just stand in one spot.
How do I call turn-based games?
The only turn-based one is 7, which takes it like more Final Fantasy, like turn-based battles. But yeah, the rest of them are real-time combat.
Real-time combat.
I haven't got that far yet. I'm only on 4.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, there you go.
But no, it's almost exactly the same style as the other ones. It plays much better than 3. It's not as fucking awkwardly designed. I
think this was the first PS4 one, wasn't it? Or PS3 one, I should say, sorry.
Yeah, well, it definitely plays like a next gen
PS3,
from the other one.
4 was PS3, yeah.
Yeah, and it plays a bit better. You can still see it's kind of its age a little bit. The remaster's done a little bit to tidy it up. But yeah, it's got a more interesting story than kind of what 3 had. So yeah, getting stuck into that one. And then off of Ross's comment last week about giving UFC a go, I decided to get into that as well, see what that's all about. And yeah, it kind of throws you in the deep end straight away with your kind of created character. And I was looking through the preset names and I came across Lineker. So I actually knocked up a quick sort of 30-second Gary Lineker, who's a kickboxing master. And yeah, they really don't hold your hand through the first bit. And I kept getting knocked out by my sparring partner to sort of break into it. It doesn't really guide you through the moves very well. And your guy just runs out of sort of stamina really quickly unless you sort of bide your time and sort of take it a bit slower. And then, gone from that to where I am now, who's a 7-time defending champion of the heavyweight division. And sort of one spinning heel kicked my rival, knocked him out in one hit, 8-second match.
Bloody hell.
Boom.
Because you can invest in certain points to sort of improve your character as you go along, and sort of because he's a kickboxer, I just went all into kick speed and kick power, and I've never made it past the first round because he just dominates.
Boom, one hand
Absolute
knockout
smashing,
on the floor.
Yeah.
How do you like them?
He's a kicking master, and I keep training, learning different fancy kicks. So like Showtime kicks, cage spinning kick, spinning roundhouse, jumping roundhouse, cartwheel kick.
The
various different
Showtime
ways
kick. That brings back memories.
Various different ways
Lineker.
of kicking people in the head. And Lineker with his football skills is good at punting people in the head.
Yeah. Should we singing It's Coming Home?
But
Sorry, was that It's Coming Rome? Sorry, I missed that. I missed that. It was a bad connection. Sorry.
Yeah, I got into that more than I thought I would have, and I'm probably not playing it the right way because the matches should last more than sort of 30 seconds each time.
Yeah, that's the only.
Hey, if you're winning, you're winning.
That's the only problem I've found with UFC games. It's like the initial part is a good challenge, like you're maybe 1 or 2 rounds and you catch the guy flush and you feel really good about your victory. And then like you get 2/3 of the way through your career mode and it's just like bang, oh right, there's you down on the floor, next fight. And it gets a bit between that and then once you've won the title, you don't seem to have any progress. It doesn't seem to progress like the story type idea of it.
Yeah.
It's just you've won the title, great, that's it. You don't have like any. It's almost like they should make you the champion, and then when you're the champion, you suffer a bad injury during the fight, and you have to forfeit the title and come
I know
back.
it's a distinct lack of any other sort of progression in the story because I understand what they've done. You hype up the matches, you spar, you get yourself match ready, and fitness wise, and so there's a lot of clever little bits in there. But after a while, it's just kind of you rinse and repeating a little bit, and there's just not much development outside of that career.
I mean, I think you eventually try and work in it like to get a Hall of Fame type career. Or I know it was like that on one of the older ones, but you'd like more of a payoff once you've actually won the title, because it does seem like, all right, you've won the title, there's nothing really else to do in the game.
It's only so much time they can call me lucky when I'm sort of like 35-0 and I keep whipping everyone in the first round, kicking everyone in the head.
How lucky do you get?
It's just so lucky. Yeah. And then the people start rivalries. Oh, if he faced me, this wouldn't happen. And that was the guy I started a rival with, and he lasted 8 seconds. So,
Are you still lucky? Fuck you, bitch.
You're lucky if you make it past 10 seconds. But it was good fun nonetheless. And in the interest of fairness, I'll let the others talk about the other games. So, I mean, I'll briefly touch the fact. I mean, I'm almost at the end of Monster Sanctuary. I started that a couple of weeks back, and I'm in the final stretch of that now. And then,
how's it going? Because obviously I started and I got a bit frustrated with it. Does it get better? Does it open up a storyline or?
The storyline's there. It's not massively potent, but it's okay. But once you kind of got your team strategy kind of worked out and sort of build on that strategy, you know which things to attribute trees to go down. You kind of make your team a bit almost unbeatable, but then once you get to the final stretch, things start to get super hard. And it's all right. I'm just trying to get to the end of it now. I'm in the final stretch of it, hitting the last couple of bosses. I must be very near the end because I'm almost at the cap where it's like level 40 where you'll sort of get all the last final attributes. So I'm almost at that point. So I must be towards the end of it now.
Okay, fair.
So I'm hoping to finish that bit off. And then I decided to sort of have a dabble into Quantum Break, which I don't think is a short game, but I always wanted to start it. And so I had a quick look at it, and it's a lot of time-based
Quantum Break. I give you the advance warning. You will need to space out time in your diary if you want to play it, and in big chunks. I mean, not like here and
not
there,
like an hour.
Because there's bits where I'm not spoiled too much, but then you do a certain thing, and then you will have to do a thing for a long period of time because you don't want to stop, or you can't stop.
Yeah, so that's what I thought.
Exactly why I stopped playing it, because I could not be asked.
Oh no, you've got to do it. It's so good.
I didn't play it, and I'm going to sound bad for not playing it. I just didn't want it to tarnish the reputation after Alan Wake.
Alan Wake is fantastic.
Yeah,
I love
Alan Wake's outstanding, and I
gets
just
mentioned in it.
But I do recommend Quantum Break. I recommend all those. What's the publisher called? Developer.
Remedy.
Remedy.
It's just
Thank you.
It was literally
All
only because of
Remedy
the
games
characters.
I've loved so far, and I definitely recommend. I know you don't want it to tarnish it, but trust me, Quantum Break is actually a really good game.
That's not. I mean, I know the actors from it. One was like the Iceman from X-Men. The other guy's Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, and then you got Pippin from Lord of the Rings. And so it's good seeing those characters anyway.
Yeah.
And Littlefinger is the only one that seems to be like designed very weird. He looks very weird in the game.
No, definitely go back and try it because you won't be disappointed.
nice.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that.
Like I said,
I don't trust Jamie, but I trust Graham to actually play a game.
I
Yeah,
will,
no,
but that's me.
yeah.
But there's too many threads at once. I need to sort of focus and get to the end of some of these.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about yourself then, Ross? What have you been playing?
I have been playing some Rainbow Six Siege. I have been itching my fix for that game. It doesn't matter like if you play it does obviously matter if you're playing with randoms and playing in a group. It makes the experience so much better if you're playing with a group. But even playing with randoms, I just love Siege so much. Such a good game.
I'm gutted that they delayed the
extraction till 2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as like first person shooters weren't in my top genre games, but there's just something about Siege. I just love it. I think it's such an amazing game. Desperately.
Was it you and Graham that did really well in the quiz?
Yeah, me and
Yes, they
Graham were way past the sort of basic operators. I think by the time me and Gray had checked out of all the operators, I think there was only like 3 left when we couldn't get through the rest of them. So now gutted that they have had to delay the DLC, but I would much rather it came out perfect than half-assed.
No, yeah, I agree.
So no, looking forward to that, but I just sort of had to get some enjoyment in for some.
What's the new season called now, Beast?
No, it's not Sun Rain. I know the one you're talking about. It's the guy who looks very Miami Vice in the picture type idea.
Was that when we were playing for Project Game Pass?
Yes, it
The same
was.
season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, it's a fucking fantastic game. As we said, me, Graham, Ian, our good friend Pete, and Jake. Shout out Jake. I haven't spoken to him for a while. We used to play that every week, good couple of times a week for years.
Oh yeah, God, we got heavily into it, didn't we? We were doing.
Yeah. North Star is the new one.
There we go.
Yeah, fantastic game.
But yeah, so I had to jump back in that, and so glad I did because it's just such an amazing game. It's how well it's been supported for the length of time that it's been out as well. They're always bringing out new stuff with the amount of different operators they've brought out. Obviously, with this new one that's coming out with the extraction idea, just such a well supported game. Never gets stale. They're always adding new maps, new weapons, new operators with new different mechanics, new metas that are constantly changing. It's
changing the maps around, all the maps.
exactly, yeah. Like the one that I always remember is the Hereford base, so the SAS sort of training ground. That game, that map has changed dramatically since the first day it came out, and it's just great to see that the developers have. Obviously, they know it's a cash cow because you're going to get people who spend tons on renown points and things like that. But it's fine as long as it's not basic stuff that they're doing, like Fortnite Battle Pass type idea, where you just get different skin. These are whole new operators with different game mechanics and things like that. So I don't mind when they keep to this sort of games as a service. Just it's the same game. They just constantly update it as long as it's worthwhile to actually do it.
I heard they were complaining. People were complaining of it a while back. I think it was like a couple of days ago. I saw on Twitter they were complaining that crouching was too quiet, and they were moaning that crouching was too quiet and how they would find people. I was like, well, surely if you're crouching, that's what's meant to
That's
happen.
the point, yeah.
Well, yeah, it was.
So apparently, apparently they're going to adjust it maybe because they're going to look into it. I think
Yeah. Well, the whole point of crouching is to be quieter, isn't it? You move
Exactly,
slower,
yeah.
but you're quiet.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do. Yeah, I think we do need to play Rainbow more. I use play it more. 'Cause I do love it.
It's such a good game.
It is a great game, and it's not hardcore enough. I think that you can't sort of jump back into it at any time.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
at the
like,
same time, it can be if you really want to get into it. Like you could be really hardcore about it.
yeah, like I picked it up the other night, and I just thought, right, I'm going to try a few operators I've never really tried for, and few times MVP. Just it's not that hard a game that you've missed the point where you need to have started to play it beforehand. You can quite happily just pick it up and go.
Were you
Right.
playing on Xbox or PC?
Xbox. My mouse and keyboard skills are horrifically bad, so I wouldn't.
Well, when the
embarrass
next
myself.
on, if you see me online, drop me an invite.
I shall do, my man. I shall do.
Damn right. Second that.
Although that
Because-
said, my little, or rather big asshole of a dog has actually just eaten my Xbox power cable, so that's interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah, so he was lying underneath my desk when I was at work today, and I seen him there. I thought, he's fine, he's not doing anything. And I came back, and half the cable was spread out across the living room floor. Asshole. In fairness, I'm glad it was just the Xbox wire, because had it been any of my PC wires, I'd have been, yeah, not so good trying to record the podcast tonight.
Well, thank you, dog, for not eating the podcast recording equipment.
Exactly.
For now.
Quick
now.
question, quick one. Before we move on to, actually no, we'll do Jamie, then we'll do the quick one.
Yeah.
I just seen it.
Okay. Now I'm excited.
Ooh.
I'll get through mine very quickly then. I talked about Walden, a game last week. It's very good. Rubes is up on the site now. It's a very chill adventure game. But the main one I want to talk about this week is the Streets of Rage 4 DLC, which I was playing with Graham last night.
Sega Mega Drive for the win.
What a
Yay.
fucking brilliant bit of DLC.
That
I'm,
good?
I'm not
Good.
I'm not usually one for DLC at all. I usually would like I'll play a game, I finish it, and DLC comes out. Oh well, I've kind of done, but this adds in 3 new characters. So you got a fully featured Max rather than just a retro version. You got Shiver, who was a bad guy in Streets of Rage 3, I think. Is that right, Greg? Do you remember?
No, 2.
Or was it 2?
2.
2. Who you can now play as, and then you've got Estelle, which was a bad guy turned good guy in Streets of Rage 4.
Who's built like a tank.
She is built like an Abby out of Last of Us Part 2, Ian.
Oh man.
Oh,
But yeah, no, between the 3 of them, they offer up sort of completely different play styles. So Estelle is a bit slower, but quite powerful, whereas Max is really slow, but he's got his nifty little. What was he say, Greg?
Where's the dash?
Power slide. Power slide. Power
That's
slide.
I was more the closed lining. that it
And the
said.
clotheslining, yeah. And then Shiver is just pretty rapid. He as I put in my review, which will come out in a couple of days, he kind of balances out Cherry, where he's fast, but he's also really powerful. And he's got some kick-ass moves. So there, 3 great characters added in, and they also add in a survival mode. So it's basically an endless wave type thing. So you got a wave, you beat that wave, you move on to the next wave, beat that wave, etc., until you die. If you do it in co-op, which I'm very thankful for, you can revive the other player when they die. Thank you, Graham, for reviving me every time.
Hey.
Surprise, surprise. But the main thing is when you finish a wave, you get to pick between 2 perks, and those perks are randomized. So, for example, you might get your special attack gets the ability of electricity as well, or you might get you take 100% more damage, but you also deal 100% more damage. So you can kind of balance it out. And there's 2 perks, but only one player gets to pick one. So me and Gray were sort of bouncing back and forth for you. Your turn to pick, my turn to pick, your turn. Except for when it come up defense, because then I always picked it just to make sure I tried to stay alive a little longer.
Yeah. Otherwise, the perk was revive your buddy.
Yeah.
Revive,
If you have to revive your buddy, then basically if you revive them, you lose out on the other perks. But yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We got to wave, what was it, 17 last night?
Yeah.
And the next reward, whatever that might be, is wave 18, but we haven't got back to there yet.
I'm sitting watching the trailer, and the actual end screen for it is Axel holding a swordfish as a weapon. And I've
Yeah, I
just
think-
watched it again and noticed that Estelle's cutting around with a swordfish in hand, like beating
That would
these
do it.
guys up.
They-
with a
I think they've added some extra
Yeah.
weapons and stuff, and they've added the extra bits and pieces here and there. But the main thing is that survival wave, which I think they were showing just then. Every time you finish a run, once you get to the end and you end up dying, you unlock XP, which in turn unlock moves for the new characters, or for all the characters,
Okay.
I should say. So, say for example, Shiva, his forward B is like a jumping kick, but you can unlock a new one, which will then give him a dash attack rather than that. And all the characters get that, which you can then use across all the modes. But I think you can only unlock them in that mode. So you've got to play it a
okay.
lot. You've got to play it a lot to unlock all the characters' modes. I think there's 5 moves per character, and there's a lot of characters to unlock for. But yeah, no, it's really good. The DLC was awesome. I'd love playing this survival mode. I played it a couple of times today on my own, and it's definitely easier solo because there's not so many enemies, but it's still hard enough to where I only got to wave 12 or 13 on my own before I died. And really good, really very good. The new characters are great. I really like playing Shiva. Estelle was good, and Graham obviously took care of Max. How did you find Max in his revamped form?
He was the same as 2. He was just like a modernized version of 2. It played almost exactly the same way.
Yeah. Which is what you want, really, isn't it? Because he
Yeah.
was already in there as like a retro character, but now he's got a full featured, like new art style, new sound effects, etc., etc. And DLC awesome, great additions, and they've also released like a free update which adds in Mania Plus, which is as hard as a fucking bastard because
So relentless.
you only get one life, and unless you can survive long enough to accrue enough points to get an extra life. But whereas like the beginning area, for example, on normal you might face maybe 5 enemies. On Mania Plus is about 25, and they're relentless. It's just carnage constantly. We only got I only survived about halfway through, and then you got a little bit further than I did.
You barely made a call.
No, well, I was trying to be generous to myself, but yeah, probably wasn't quite a quarter. Rock hard.
No
absolute
health
rock hard.
pickups either. I didn't find any along the way.
Really good, very good DLC. Review will be up in a few days. If you enjoyed Streets of Rage 4, my game of the year last year, definitely pick it up. I think it's about eight quid. It's
on
it's a
Game
lot.
Pass, is it not?
Streets of Rage 4 is on Game Pass.
Yeah, I was
and
going to
then
say, because I've been
the-
playing it on the cloud.
Yeah, the DLC is paid, but for 8 quid, I'd highly recommend it just because the survivor mode, the new characters, and then the quality of life improvements they made as well. Yeah, very good,
Nice.
very good indeed. And then I've got a couple other games, but I can't talk about them yet. So, shh.
On the QT.
What did you want to bring up, Ian?
So obviously just saw in the show notes. I don't know who put it in. But apparently tomorrow things are going to get wild. Apparently at 11 a.m. PT, 8 p.m. CST for a worldwide reveal of a brand new game in the Tom Clancy universe.
Yes, I meant to say this to you, and I was waiting until we had got to a point that it was applicable. It's meant to be something a little bit on the more wild side. So not...
It's going to be Wildlands 3 or 2, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not, don't think Sam Fisher, but it's meant to be a little bit on the more...
Don't dash our hopes already.
I know.
Tom Clancy, new game. Can it be Splinter Cell? No.
It's not
No
a Tom...
fucking
Is it not...
chance.
It's a game in the Tom Clancy universe.
It's going to be Wildlands 2, isn't it?
I
It's
hope
gonna
not.
piss
Well,
it
I
off.
suppose in fairness, Wildlands was a fantastic game, to be fair.
It's going to be Ghost Recon.
Let's not get
Wildlands
carried away
2.
now, Ross.
Oh, did you not like Wildlands? I love that as a co-op game, man. It's so good taking... Oh, no. I won't have anybody bad-mouthing Wildlands.
I haven't actually tried Wildlands, so I played it
That's a
once.
lie. That's a lie.
lie,
Me and you
that's a
went to
lie.
the preview event, didn't we?
Went to the preview event. but that's all I'm
Graphically,
saying.
one of the best games of the last generation, and 2, a fantastic co-op game to play. But I strongly say that you have to play it co-op to enjoy
Oh
it.
yeah. We
But it's-
played it in a group of, I think there was like 20 odd people there, and so we played whatever
Yeah.
the maximum co-op was allowed, and it was fun enough. But
So
when
when
it
we
comes
went
to
there,
the
just
full
got drunk
release,
instead.
basically, we just got drunk and ate pizza, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, great game, utterly underrated by you gentlemen, I'm afraid. Sorry.
fine. But yeah, apparently that's the reveal. I saw that in show notes, so I'll mention it quickly before we moved on.
A new
I'm
game
hoping it's Splinter Cell. I think it's going to be Wildlands 2 because they said get wild.
Yeah, I had seen that as well, and it's got like thing is, and the graphic that they put up with like the purple flashes through it, it looks quite a futuristic type title. So it makes me think that it's going to be something more.
What else could it be though, other than Wildlands? Because what have they got? So they got Division, obviously. They got Splinter Cell. They got Ghost Recon. They got
Siege.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Rainbow
2.
Six, and they got what's the one that was on the 360 had voice commands?
Vegas.
Division.
No. It was
No, I know
like a real like an RTS type game.
Yes. Some command.
What's it called now? Because I quite enjoyed that one.
Frick, I'll get the name right just now.
Okay. I can't think of any other Tom Clancy IPs that they would bring back other than Splinter Cell.
Rainbow Six Vegas.
Oh, please.
Rainbow Six again. Yeah. Vegas was good, but Siege, I think, is much better.
Different types of games, though.
Different type of game. Like
Well, yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
If you brought Vegas 3 out, then that'd be quite fun, actually.
Yeah. That would be wild. Get wild.
Tom Clancy games, right? Let me have a look at these. So you've got.
I've got the fucking box upstairs. I can picture the image. I just can't think of the name.
So you've got like Ghost Recon, all the different Ghost Recon games, like Advanced Warfare and stuff like that. You've got the Rainbow Six games. You've got the Splinter Cell games, and then you've got Division. Hawks. Oh, that would be amazing. I loved Hawks.
That was the flying one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Hawks was freaking awesome. Oh yeah, give me Hawks. No, I'll bite your hand off for Hawks.
Yeah, it's gonna be Ghost Recon, isn't it?
Hawks 2 was shit. Hawks, the original, was mind-blowingly amazing.
It's gonna be a battle of disappointment because it's not gonna be Splinter Cell and everyone's gonna go fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they just got to get on with it. They can't keep teasing it or like pretending it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, that's tomorrow reveal. Sorry for ruining everyone's mojo, but it's not going to be Splinter Cell. It's going to be some battle of shit. It's probably going to be Wildlands 3 or 2, whatever.
2, I was going to say the next one.
Yeah,
Division 3 or 1.
It was Ghost Recon. Was a Breakpoint, then Wildlands, and then now it'll be the third one.
No, Breakpoint was after Wildlands, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, Breakpoint was after Wildlands because Breakpoint was shit.
I really wish I could remember that game. It's never. I don't know why I would care because it's not going to be that.
Was it not Advanced Warfare where you could like your mic?
No, it was like a Command and Conquer style game.
What, as in like real time strategy?
Yeah, but you issued commands via voice rather than like controller.
End War? No.
End War.
End War,
Yes. End War. Thank you. That was really good. I enjoyed End War. Very hard though because the voice commands didn't work half the time.
No, you try playing that game with a Scottish accent.
It was like move A to section B, move A to fight enemy. No, stop.
That's giving me flashbacks of the Rainbow game where you asked them to open flash and clear and they just completely just went through.
Oh yeah.
Breach and attack. No.
Open flash and clear. Open flash and clear. No, not breach. Not breach.
Don't do it. Don't do it. No. Oh.
Yeah. No, great game. So we'll see. Hopefully tomorrow, this time next week, we'll be able to talk about new Splinter Cell, but probably not. We'll probably be commiserating our loss. All right, should we move on? Wrap this bad boy up because it's getting on and it's still fucking hot here. I don't know about you lads, but fuck me.
Yeah,
I am.
I haven't had dinner yet. Fucking hell.
Neither have I.
Have you not?
No.
No, I don't have time.
See, that's dedication for you. Head over to xboxtavern.com and tell them how wonderful they are. And then head over to patreon.com and give
making
some money.
life easier for myself now, but I've got a steak and haggis pie for dinner.
Yes!
I've actually got steak for dinner.
Steak and haggis pie.
Fucking
I've just got actual steak.
Phone Dan, he'll tell you how you cook it.
Oh, fuck off.
Quick question while he's not here, right?
Suicidal. Okay.
Who does anybody
who likes Dan?
Well, I don't want to say it that loud. Who tenderizes their steak before they cook it?
No.
Not
No.
So no, and a no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're normal. Yeah, Dan sent me a picture of his steak getting hit with a meat tenderizer, and I was like,
why?
Why?
I don't know.
Don't.
I don't know.
I dread to think what the fuck that thing looked like before
Exactly.
it was tenderized. It was a human. That's
I was
why
I was
tenderised
looking
a
at it. I
human.
was like, what the fuck is he
Fucking hell,
doing?
Dan.
All you need is a bit of seasoning.
Bit of
30
seasoning.
seconds on each side, and away you go. Anyway.
Oh no, wait,
Oh, why?
What?
Hey.
what is that?
Dan, I normally try and stick up for you a little bit on here, but I can't defend that. That's just not.
You know what makes it
That's
even worse? It looks like he's literally taken it out of the fridge and seasoned it, then tenderized it because there's salt all over it. And I'm
No,
like,
no.
Dan, what you doing? Dan, please stop.
At least let
Yeah,
it.
Rest. Let it
thank
get
you.
up to room temperature, Dan.
Fuck you, Dan. Fuck you.
Oh, so yeah. Anyway, side note. Sorry. Yes. Next. Yeah. Sorry.
Let's cheer everyone up by telling them about Games of Gold this week, Graham, please.
Right, the Games of Gold. We've got Planet Alpha from July the 1st to the 31st. We have Rock of Ages 3, Make or Break, from July the 16th to August the 15th. And we got Midway Arcade Origins from July 16th to the 31st.
Nice. And Ross, things coming to Game Pass? Anything interesting this week?
So the ones that we had last week, just quick recap. We had the Medium coming to cloud July 15th, Farming Simulator 19 on cloud, console and PC July 15th, and Bloodroots console, cloud and PC. He's not here this week, but Dan has jumped into Bloodroots, so I would imagine we'll hear some of that next week when he's back on the show. Next week, we have coming up on the 20th on cloud, console and PC, we have Christ Tales. And then on July 22nd on the console, we have Last Stop. And next week after that is when we will all be busy trying to fly planes.
I imagine something Christ Tales will be up Graham Street at the very least.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed the demo, but
I'm intrigued by Bloodroots, so I'll probably actually try it rather than Dan actually playing.
Yeah, don't let Dan tell you about it. That's if his steak cooking abilities anything to go by, then yeah.
And Ian, anything leaving?
Yeah, so leaving at the end of the month is It Lurks Below, The Tourist, and Undermine.
Fair enough. I've
Just-
not heard of
just free
It
game.
Looks Below, but yeah, the Tourist is apparently very good.
Yes, I think I reviewed it to go over to Xbox Tavern and actually reviewed the game.
And it only took him about 5 months. Right, anyway, let's move on. I think that's it, isn't it?
That is it.
We've done one.
You
I can't
have.
believe it.
Couple more
Oh
butt
no,
plugs and then we
Dan's
should be
in,
done.
Dan's in the chat. Fuck off. Dan.
Oh shit! No, God! Oh,
I
my
can't-
camera's broke again, motherfucker!
Oh, Ross, what are you doing?
Foxy, what's
Oh.
up?
What are you doing?
Now you got to pull his face.
Ah,
Oh,
why is my camera playing idiot tonight?
Well, let's wrap it up and then you can fucking do one. Sort your camera and get one of them new Elgato ones.
Yeah, that's I think what I need. Yeah, fucking
So yeah, so we've been Xbox Tavern. This has been X Pod Tavern episode 38, if that you can count this shambles as some sort of podcast. Butt plugs this week are follow us on xboxtavern.com. You can follow us at Xbox Tavern on Twitter, and you can follow Ian,
at Nutty Ray.
Graham,
Green Reaper.
and Ross.
chaotic UI.
Ross, how much was your camera?
Fucking waste of shitty ass money.
And you can follow Dan because give him a shout out at Chocolate Bear 80 on Twitter, and yeah, you find us on YouTube, find us on Twitch, find us on Twitter, find us. Just pop in Ask Jeeves, pop it askjeeves.com and go.
Graham's dead again.
Show me Xbox Tavern things, please, and they'll show you what you need to know.
And don't forget to send Clementine gifts to Chocolate Bear 80 on Twitter.
Yes.
And on that note, thank you everybody.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Oh, killed it.
Recording stopped.
Oh, that was yeah. Fucking stupid £180 camera. Fuck you, Razer, and your shitty ass product.
Hey.
Are we still streaming?
We are live, yes. We're not
Okay.
recording, but we're live, yes.
Oh,
We're
Now,
still
now-
recording.
This is the
Fuck
post
you,
show.
Dad.
The post show.
Yeah.
Post show which abused Dan.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I very much enjoyed this mango beverage.
It's
I thought you were
fantastic.
going to say you enjoyed Dan not being there.